I hope you enjoyed reading The Tortoise and the Hare, narrated by a silly but somewhat truthful tortoise on Monday, and I hope you enjoyed Lion versus Rabbit on Tuesday. On both days, when you finished reading, you wrote the characters, that's who the story is about, and you wrote the setting telling where the story took place. So what we're going to do today is we are going to compare and contrast those two stories. When we compare, that means that we're talking about how the stories are the same or similar, and when we contrast, we're talking about how the stories are different. So I've already made a chart that listed the story elements, the characters, the setting, and I listed what happened, which is the plot of the story. So in the story, The Tortoise and the Hare, we have Dash, who is a tortoise, Jiffy, who is a hare, which is another name for rabbit, and Roxy the fox. This story took place outside, and in the story, Jiffy, remember that's the hare, was actually a slow rabbit. We know that Jiffy teased Dash because Dash was a tortoise, and a tortoise is a slow animal. We know that Dash told jokes. They raced. Dash, the tortoise, won, and at the end, Jiffy apologized. In the story Lion versus Rabbit, we had the lion, buffalo, zebra, hyena, baboon, bear, moose, tiger, and rabbit. So let's start by comparing the characters. What characters do you see that are the same? Jiffy the hare, the rabbit, and Rabbit were in both stories. So we had a rabbit in both, so I've drawn arrows to the same to show that that's the same in both stories. In Tortoise and the Hare, we also had Dash and Roxy the fox, but we do not have a tortoise or a fox in Lion versus Rabbit. In both stories, the setting is outside. So is that the same or different? I've drawn a line to show that that's the same. In our first story, Tortoise and Hare, Jiffy was slow and Jiffy teased Dash. So when I look over at what happened in Lion versus Rabbit, I see that Lion was mean. So if Lion was mean and Jiffy was teasing Dash, both of those characters were not being very nice to their friends. So I have an arrow there to show that characters were being mean to their friends in both stories. That's a way that we can say they are the same or similar. In The Tortoise and the Hare, Dash told jokes. But in Lion versus Rabbit, no one was telling jokes, but I see that several of the characters had a competition against Lion and lost. In the story, The Tortoise and the Hare, Jiffy and Dash raced. And in the story, Lion versus Rabbit, Rabbit and Lion also had a race. So that's another way that those two stories are the same. In The Tortoise and the Hare, Dash won. Dash is the tortoise. And in the story, Lion versus Rabbit, Rabbit won. So would that be a way that the two stories are same or similar, or is that a way that those two stories are different? That's a way that they're different. At the end of our first story, Jiffy apologized, and he and Tortoise became friends. And at the end of the second story, Lion started being nice to his friends. So that's another way that they are similar. So what I want you to do now is I want you to write one sentence telling how these two stories are the same and one sentence to tell how these two stories are different. Your sentences will be comparing and contrasting the two stories. Don't forget, use capital letters, finger spaces, and ending marks. We can't wait to see your sentences.